Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Have we got a show for you today? The greatest, the smartest, the most amazing Alliance poets have once again gathered in Stormwind near the Mage's Quarter under the tree. In a few minutes, the Stormwind Poetry Appreciation Society shall begin. This time featuring some all-time favorites such as the Warbear, Eugene Ross, Zakaria, Didi, Bertel, Eugene Ross, whose video I'm still working on. His magnificent work of art has been amazing. The Midnight Theater made a really amazing theater, so sit in, strap in for the Stormwind Appreciation Society is about to begin. Stay awesome, because that is what you are. For you will be soon a star.
You smart. You very smart. We the best. You a genius.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone?
Thank you, Zach and Didi, for helping out. The sign-ups are now closed, but if there is time, we will also include the ones that didn't make it to the sign-up rounds. It's time, I guess. Yes, it is, because it's 8:05. We welcome that, of course. Eugene once again complaining about the disaster that was last time from our little friend that told a story and kept singing, which we solved out in the comments of the last video, which I recommend to checking out. With this new mic, I have the power now to be much more clean. Well, so let's get the meeting started. And I'm excited to present to you the new sound quality that is no longer interrupted by the notebooks or an integrated sound card. I still have to work around a little bit, but it's no longer that big of a deal. And in the videos that are not muted, it's clearly hearable. Welcome to the 113, I think, meeting ever in Stormwind Poetry Appreciation Society. As usual, I will start by reciting a poem, this time a brand new one of my own. Mr. Bertel let me know that this poem might be even better than the chocolate one. And you know how I love the chocolate one. Chocolate. And that people from the sign-up list will take turns in reciting their poems or singing songs. Yeah. You might not want to sing songs. But oh well. I'm currently holding my new mic in the hand because I won't be using any, well, not much of the keyboard. If there is additional time left, people who didn't sign up will have a chance to recite or sing their poems or songs. Because I don't really need today, I don't have anything prepared. And as always, the meeting will conclude with a small firework display. So, first poem of this meeting. By me, Bertel, Bobble Spring, the Barless. I for a moment thought that I forgot to put in the mic for the recording, but now I remember that I actually did with Bandicam record the Minecraft one, so I didn't forget anything. Once there was a band of bards. The Barless was their name. They never finished any songs, which kind of was a shame. They made 500, only half. No start and no beginning. They just kept playing on and on. To no avail or winning. Oh, avail. I'm sorry, to no avail or winning. Their show and songs were never done. And neither were they all that fun. Yet never would they stop, nor start. The bands of bards, the bardless. People frowned and asked, "That is art?" Their manager would startle, proclaim they were just warming up. And a rightful never started. That caused the audience to leave. The band seemed not to care, or might have not even been aware. The pause between their sets was brief. The spotlight stolen by a thief. Who didn't seem to mind. To pick the pocket of the beat. The drummer took not kind, and way too late behind the beat, mind. He threw a fit, and then his sticks. He left the band behind for good. Never was he seen again. The band played on a half refrain, forsooth. The band played on a half refrain, forsooth, and never stopped since then. Battle, I must say, I loved more the chocolate one. This one, in comparison to the chocolate one, was, in just my opinion, a little bit weaker. The next poet coming from Emolia, who might actually have played part in the Midnight Theatre, but I'm not sure about that. Good evening, all. I... well, let me begin. Regal and wild. The autumn night rides. Okay, again. Regal and wild. The autumn night rides. Crowned with a horned moon, cloaks through with stars. She rides from the east. Cold wind in her steed. Red leaves in his mane, whose beat like an owl wings. Waters and wheels. She dresses in mists. Where deep in marshes, her airy trail gleams. Bats dance in her path. Wolves greet her with her song. Hers is the revelry that lasts until dawn. Light from the bonfires shines gold in her eyes. As the autumn night rides, regal and wild. The end. Obviously. That was kind of obvious, the end, since it started and ended the same way. But was an amazing feature, I must admit. Next up, the legendary, the masterful, Spanish sounding man, Sir Alexandros Ravenclaw Medici. This piece was mailed to me recently, entitled Two Men. No, at least it's not 2.5 men. Two men met in a storm. They lurked in the eaves of the building. The rain dripped off their cowls. Their eyes flicked in greeting. They returned to their watch, assessing the passers-by. One pulled out two ciggies and offered one over, which was accepted with a silent nod. They lit up and took synchronized puffs, shuddering in the cold rain. One pulled out a hip flask, took a pull and offered it over. The other nodded and took a pull himself, and passed it back. Their silent, smoky watch was interrupted by a cough, which grew louder, bolder, as they both couldn't hold back, their lungs burning. Their frantic eyes narrowed with distrust and anger toward each other. They pulled their blades on each other, and saw the same sigil on the pommel. Their eyes went wide in shock, and their hands clutched at their throats. Wow. For with their final breaths they learned your enemy isn't always your opponent. Sometimes the threat can come from a brother within the same group. Alright. I screwed there a little bit up, but oh well. It was amazing once again. I'm proud of you, Alexandros.
Oh, tears! Oh! Oh! Okay.
Next up is Lårborke. Herein, I suppose. Are you trying to copy me, girl? I doubt that. But let's see what she wrote. Yes, hello. I shall be quite brief, for today I shall share with you a poem I heard last week from an ogre. I shared a fire with overnight, deep in Dustwallow Marsh. It is quite blunt, but surprisingly does rhyme. He was very proud of himself, dear guy. Anyways, without further ado, the unexpected depth of ogre poetry. I saw a little birdie that had a pretty head. So I ran up fast and sat on him. And now that bird is dead. I know that ogre. I know that ogre. And for once, he's getting a clap and not a boo. This was actually excellent.
Oh my fucking god, that's genius!
Ah, the legendary Eugene Ross himself. My friend, I'm very excited to see what you brought this time. Thank you, sir. Good evening, dear poetry enthusiasts. It is as always a tremendous pleasure to see you. I, Eugene Ross, a poet of inconsistent quality, will recite you two of my latest pieces tonight. One on the lighter side and one on a bittersweet. I hope not to disappoint you. The first one is titled What All the Elven Girls Like to Do. Well, we all know that, but that's a little bit off-brand Dutch, I think. When night is young and wine is all gone, how can the squiffy boys resist the call? How can, of all the fetching queens of Lordaeon, illuminating the tenebrosity of urban sprawl, the question rigged. We know we can't. We squiffy boys will brave the lowest odds. There is no such thing as a chance scant, for risk is always favored by the gods. Peruse the menu, friend, what would it be? The choice is vast. Alternatives are many. Maybe the Draenei lady drinking herbal tea, or one of dime a dozen or one of dime a dozen human jessies. But chance you won't properly investigate the legendary thickness of Pandaren 4? Or maybe you have always wished to date a nicotine-addicted goblin entrepreneur who are befooling. The answer is old, when their eyes glow akin to rarest pearls, as godless revelers. No, as godless revelers are lining to convert to one and true religion of the elven girls. Oh, do they love to paint their nails blue, utterly destructive when wearing lingerie. Marjorie, actually. They are stuck forever in their 22s and love to sing and dance eternity away. Oh, do they love their flowery shampoo. Spring follows whenever they decide to go. Would they pretend they were never got a clue, even if it's them who, even if it's them who always run the show. But above all else, the elven girls just love. Today the waves of squiffy. Today the waves of squiffy human boys. For we are what they say, easy to get rid of, mildly amusing, and very short-lived toys. Be that as it may, who are we to complain? Little past few decades we are given to enjoy. There isn't any reason to exercise restraint, where elven girls invite us, smiling, oh so coy. Thus my human jessies and my gnomes, my fury sisters, oh no, furry sisters, my furry sisters, my dwarves, and all the rest, if boys you love forget their way back home, put blame on 10,000-year-old breast. You naughty, naughty boy. You forgot this too? Oh. But well, we will probably get it at the end.
I think that's sexy.
Next up, the legendary Draenei, the legendary Erhard Rost. She's once again back, and let's see what she got this time. Of course, giving a hand is a common courtesy here. The crowd is quite gathered, you know. Two from me, as promised, but first I would love to offer all a kind of advice. Stay always on guard. Now, let's commence. So we will have two Rostains and two Eugene Ross. Ooh. Now that's what I call a good show. Dwarf. Pick your pick and pick a rock, and other than plot a field. Sing your song, the glory you wield. Beard in the sun, a hole in the sock. Beer, beer, beer. Harvest the wheat, sing your song. Load the wheel cart. Push it on the road, show your sweet, lift your shirt up, your hairy piece of art. Beer, 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 yar! Sing your song without a damn care in the world, dwarf. Wheat to the brewery, make your beer. Drink, 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 shirtless, sexy bastard. Back to Forge from the terrace of wetlands. Drink, 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 conquer your lass, and then a barf. Okay, I'm not fluent in Dwarvish, okay? Let's be fucking honest here. But that was amazing, actually. Not only did I chuckle, I had to laugh.
You're so funny.
Yeah, you know.
So very sexy for.
So, now an announcement from Zach, aka Zakaria, for those who don't know. Another one filled with classic. I believe he poeted every single time. So let's see what he got today. Alright, as most of you know by now, then Didi and I do a ghost walk once a month, on the same nights, a poetry night. And we do so again tonight, and I will be recording it. It starts at 11 at the Golden Cake, and here is a little poem. Or maybe not recording it, I don't know, I'm not sure there. Tonight we take a stroll to a place with questionable soul. Old Town is the part where most have a black heart. A criminal ghoul who wasn't at all cool. A bunch of greedy coopers, or so say the rumors. Madness inducing caves, close to the sounds of waves. A con man most vile, who went out with a slithering style. And then there is a clown with an upside down frown. And finally, a story which may or may not be gory. Join us tonight by the fading light. Listen to tales, starting where you buy your ales. A ghost walk for sure. Come join us on the tour. Horror, mystery and scares. Nothing is better than ghostly affairs. Didi and Zack, like two animal herders, will tell you their stories about all kinds of murders. Spooky. I like it. Ah, the sleeping Pandaren awoke. This big beast term. Last time with some fresh beats. And hopefully some good ones as well today. I remember you, Big B. I remember you well. And I have very, very big hopes for you. Well, expectations, to be quite honest. Alright, this one is called Beverage. Okay, might not be actually an upbeat this time. My poem's papers get rolled to Frasiabis. I have no idea what that is, to be honest. I bet sweet like licorice, yet hard like gnomish taffy. Don Carlos Tequila and darks from Captain Rumsey. A litter arena, weapon a lyrical ocarina. Elven trees to branches, cliff to avalanches. Big flowing better than ended expansion. Even better, being fat and ugly as ever. Finish rhapsodies, then move to the next letter. Thank you. Okay, I like it. Is that? Oh, I don't know that guy yet.
And don't underestimate the importance of body language.
A new challenger has appeared. His name is Kumis, Tide Ranch. I was afraid there were some cuties, but I guess not. Salutations, folks! Compliments for the hair can be delivered at a later time. Let me preface this by saying I'm not a poet by any means, but I decided to write a little something personal, so if anyone laughs, I will kick your asses. Here goes. Mechanical alarm screeching. Roaches on my dashboard. Irradiated neighbors screaming. Home is where the heart is. Or so they say. Your heart is where you leave it. Or so I claim. I left it back at home. Where my parents reside. Their neighbors are new. Worms and mountains nigh. Once a moon I visit. Bringing fine wine and tears. Sleeping over again. Huddled in the freeze. Once again saved by stranger's heart. So let me end this with a plea. Do not read too much into this, or I will kick your ass. Eugene Ross is back with his probably bittersweet. And we meet again, dear audience. Fortunately, the final one from me for tonight, titled Someone Else. Well, that would be me, please. Dress me into something tight. I wanna be someone else tonight. I know who you want to be. Someone much prettier than I, with an audience to electrify. Eyes to drive them to suicide. Natural born widow, not bride. Perhaps a noble warrior priest. The sharpest blade in the east. Stronger than 1,000 lions. Jawline harder than diamonds. Or someone entirely opposite. Swindling player, a hypocrite. Pouring gallons of sugary lies. Walking my way up her thighs. Somebody braver and bolder. 2 decades younger or older. Fallen from grace to ditches. Or grinding away rags to riches. There are no rules to the game. Anything goes, you just name. Free choice of where to evolve. Although nothing ever resolves. So even if some of you may disagree, we are here all to a certain degree. Just to be loved and appreciated in this little world we have created. For a few meager hours tonight, before it shatters by sunlight. Amazing work. You didn't disappoint at all, Eugene.
Oh, tears. Okay.
And back is Rostein with her second poet. And I'm curious what she brought to the table once again. And of course, one more applause for the occasion. Apparently, Eugene has something as well today, so perhaps he gets his chance after this from Rostein. I still have to figure it out a little bit how to do the poetry, because sitting here is just not right. I will have to work a little bit around that, but that's for the next month. Now I come to explain why we all should stay vigilant. Tragedies happen beyond our control, and perhaps only memory is of solace. Okay? Revolt. So long, Rose of Stormwind, your halls of white saw disagreement. Sung in secrets of voice and mind, crows spoke in unison their lament. It's a story of old yet wound is open. A raging memory is what they left. Anger makes union among weak men. Reason has no space. A mob bereft. Death has two faces, both unclear. Who can tell if of friend or cruel foe? By secret hand your fate, oh dear, sanctioned in blood, pain and woe. So long, Rose of Stormwind, your stone of white, chance torment. Okay. That's an interesting one, I admit. I still like it though, even though it was not so much upbeat as the first one. Our next esteemed guest is the deity Digger's Hughes, a lovely person once again. I hope that Battle remembers Eugene because he seems to have overseen him. Be it a slight fluffy scrap or a full-grown hedgy bush, it will thrive in spring as the most verdant of greenery, ever so flush. It adorns the lower half of the mostly male face, occupying a rather boring or most blank space. It varies in size, color and shape, distinguishing him partially from the common ape. The beard, the natural substitute of wool, can cover the unsuspecting face of every common fool. It changes his face from that of a smoothly baby to that of a fierce-looking adult, even for a hairy lady, warming in the winter, protection from sun in summer. If only the care wouldn't be such a bummer. A bushy beard can also serve as a reservoir in dire fell times, be it crumbs of former glorious streets, or just the peel of some limes. The dwarves, master of the facial shrubbery, can surely apply their mastery to fashion a style to provide furthermore storage, to conceal the banquet of pork, beef, and a bowl of pottage. A comb will be the beard's most natural companion, getting ringed among the lush growth, even the peels of an onion. Slurping soup could be a bother, as the liquid would get stuck between the bushy hairs, followed by a loudly yelled "Fuck!" That is all for this hairiest of tellings. Be you wearing one? I hope it didn't hurt your feelings. You little rascal. But an amazing feature against, well, for the beards.
Oh my fucking god, that's genius!
And here comes my little devastation, my friend Eugene. I hope you enjoyed the new sound. Even though you are the last one to be here, even though you were on the list. I would like to apologize in the name of Bertel. I'm pretty sure he just saw it. I'm really sorry about keep you all folks, but I promise I will make this quick so everyone can go home. Seven clap. And I, Warbear, came to the very place where the savage Kumis stood with an ugly face. I entered under the village grounds that were black as coals, and the air was cold. And in my horror I saw the corpses of my people, young and old. Kumis laughed evilly where he stood. He unsheathed his blade and told me to leave, for I know what is good. But I stood before him with a sword in my hand, and I challenged him in anger to stand and defend himself, for his hour is at hand. But poison silence filled the air with dread, as the bandits arose from savaging my dead. And in my rage I slew the fiends with blade in hand, and burned their corpses on shallow land. A mournful cry I wailed aloud, for my loved one's bones have blackened the clouds. As I cried, an old sage had creeped, and in my anger I threatened to send him deep. But he said, "Do not mourn so loud underneath the darkened clouds, for you have made me mighty celestials, for you have made the mighty celestials very proud." Then he pointed to the north and said, "Not far upon the hill your family now lay, so rejoice and pack up, be on your way." Suddenly the old man bursted into golden dust, leaving a bag of gold in my care. So now I bring an end to my epic tale. Until we meet again, only time will tell. As usual, amazing, and this time not even difficult, thank you. Except for the name, I'm pretty sure I butchered him well. So, as I said, that will conclude it as far as poems goes for this month's meeting. In a moment there will be a small firework display though to conclude it. I would like to thank you, Bertel, very much for letting me once again record this beautiful event. And to the viewers out there, stay awesome, because that is what you truly are. Thanks to everyone attending, and a special thanks to those who contributed. Great stuff. Certainly, I agree.
You smart. You very smart. We the best. You a genius.